I'm back here with a look at Bitcoin, and we're going to take a look at Kaspa and take a look at the big overall picture here. What could be going on? All right. Last time we did a video, I don't know, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks ago now. It's been a little bit here, but I was looking for this to get up somewhere around 80, right? Come up to this trend line. Made it up to 76. All right, didn't quite get there. Rolled over. Now it looks like we're trying to make another run back up here. All right, we come out. Let's go out on a weekly and take a look at something here. All right, we take a fib on this thing. Now, where I don't want to see a rejection, if it gets up to this trend line and gets rejected again, right up here, right about 72.8, then I'm going to wonder. All right, that's a 382 retracement. If you come off the top here, pull this down. All right, you go back to the daily. Right at that 382, right here is where we got rejected before. All right, so we're going to want to see a clean break through this area. Right, I say 74, call it 75,000. I mean, it's right there. All right, 75,000 bucks. I know we had a wick come up through here, but the closing candle was down here, 70. But let's look at the close up top. Closed at 73.9 is what this candle closed at. All right, so want to see a break above this area for sure. Up at yeah, 75,000 bucks. It's so touchy when you're out on a weekly with price here. You just go the tiniest bit, but a clear of 75, and I think this thing is going higher. Right, that would bring it back up here towards this trend line. Be right around, it's somewhere right around in this area. Right, so it's either going to break and head to the upside, and we're going to get a decent run here. I'm not saying we're going back into a bull run, but could come up here and consolidate for a while, and that might, that could prove to be a bottom. Now, what if it comes up here and gets rejected, right? Ends up getting rejected here and pushing down. Well, that could be a pretty good dump, right? Let's put this at 75. That's what we're going to be looking to break. Try to touch it there, and that's good enough. 75,000 we're looking for. All right, so we're going to put a line across that right through here. All right, where you want to see a clean breakthrough, right through that area. Okay, get through there, and I think this thing could have some legs to push higher. How much higher? Well, let's take a look at that first, right? I mean, your normal retracement. I'd be kind of shocked if it ran up that high already, but it could. Oh, 618 is up at towards 100,000 bucks. Is that possible? Well, if this is a 1-2 and you're starting a 3 wave up here, yeah, I mean, it could, right? No doubt about it. It could run up there and then drop and consolidate for till we have our next big major push here in the market. But it looks like 5 waves down are done. This came back in to retest. We talked about this. Retest this top back over here in 2021, right back through here. Came back to retest it, just like back here in 2017 when it came and retested right here. That proved to be a bottom, and that's when it started back up. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. So far, so good, right? The RSI looks great right at the very bottom. The weekly is pretty oversold down here, right? It is pretty low. It's at a 34. Showing a little bit of weakness up here, but I think that's that push down here. It's happening. But on a weekly, you have a green candle started here too. All right, so look for a run back up here towards 75. Watch, if it gets rejected here, if it does and it rolls over, you could be looking for a push down towards towards 50,000. Yeah, 49.7, right around towards that 50,000 range. That's, if it gets rejected up here and rolls over, that's what I'm looking for right there. As far as Kaspa, let's go over here to the crypto bubbles real quick. Let me show you these. Here is for the year. All right, this is your top 100 altcoins. Everything Bitcoin's included in here. So your top 100 cryptocurrencies. Not as bad as it could be, right? 55%, 50 Avalanche, 52%. But if you look at the month, I mean, everything's a lot of stuff is at a pretty decent bounce, right? Look at Fetch, 59%, Tau 75.5, Zcash, Render, some older tokens, Algo, got some old stuff. Justin Sun's token here, is that, and boy, what's the other one? Tron. Yeah. Faye, he has another couple more than that too, tokens out there, but these aren't as bad as it. Look at Dot. That's for the month, down 16.5. For the year, is it gonna? Yeah, it's down 68 still. But these numbers could be a lot worse. They're really not that bad. Look at the day. You can see here a pretty nice bounce on the day here. Now if we come over and take a look at Kaspa, that bottom has held. All right, we talked about this. Put this target down here a while ago, and that held. All right, this came up, wedged up, and broke to the upside. Basically, did the measured move. Right, you take a measurement of that, bring it up. There you go. Did the measured move here, and now it's pulling back. Looking like a possible retest of this trend line here, and a bounce towards the upside. That's an ABC in here, ABC, and now we're looking for a possible run here from Kaspa. Could get a decent sized run out of this thing, right? We are out on, what are we on here? Oops, apologize. If we go on a monthly and look at the RSI, look at that. 2.5 and a 1.44. That is absolutely beautiful. The weekly looks good. 72 and a 57. Heading up. Look at that bullish divergence you had right there. And that weekly. You had this low and a lower low here. You had this low and a higher low on a stochastic. Regular RSI, was there bullish divergence? Yep. You can see that low right here. And this was a higher low coming in here. So you had bullish divergence here on Kaspa also. We went on a daily. Take a look at the RSI. Oh, look at that. That looks beautiful. But yeah, this thing, you could get a decent run out of Kaspa for sure. This could make a pretty decent move, believe it or not. Where would I be looking for this to go? Well, if it comes up here and gets through this 0.0379, 0.048 would be the next target up there. We just gotten along over here on Kaspa. A couple people over there. Mark, really great trader over in Discord. He got in right on the bounce here on this, the trend line. He's a great trader, man. If you want to join our Discord, that's a level 3 membership in the description of the video. Go check it out. It's only 15 bucks, man. Come join us. We have over 100 members in there, and man, got some good stuff going on over there. I usually always do. Entered that, and we got in a Bitcoin long. All right, so trying to ride that up also. Could see this coming up to here, believe it or not. I mean, if this turns out to be a 1-2 on an Elliott wave count, and we're working on a third wave here, worst case scenario, you get this push up through here up to there. What kind of percent move is that? Right from the bottom here. Yeah, that's a hell of a move. 53%, right? And we are out on a 1 day here, right? Yeah, on the daily. That daily RSI is right at the bottom, ready to push up. If you come in a little bit closer here, like on a, let's go in, let's get this up here. You can see a resistance line coming right down through here. If it breaks, sorry if you hear the chimes out there, and it did break. Alright, that one definitely has broken. that resistance there, and then you have one coming across the top up here. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that one. Could have a no, it's not going to be a bigger wedge here, but it has broken that one. You know, same with Bitcoin over here. If that thing ends up breaking through this trend line here, right down here, right, which would kind of make sense if Kaspa is going to make a run. You know, Bitcoin, you would think would have to make a run also, right? I mean, that's what you would expect from it. The daily RSI on Bitcoin just turning up. You know, this is the big trend line out here, and right at that 75,000 mark. You're going to want to see break, right? So if we look at the Bitcoin on the daily, and then look at Kaspa on the daily. Get back on that daily chart. You know, gonna want to see Bitcoin go, more than likely for this to go. But if it does go, like I said, it's going to make a serious run here. All right, so definitely keep your eye on this. Keep your eye on Bitcoin. And if this starts coming up to these levels, keep an eye on these levels right up through here, guys. Make a run up here. I'm going to put a box up here because these are the areas you're going to want to see a breakthrough, right? Get this rectangle right up through here, the 618702 box. Right up here. Get a break through that if it runs back up that high, which I believe it's going to. I really do, especially if Bitcoin goes. Could definitely see a retracement back up to here. Even if you just, you know, well, you could go up this one here first, I guess. Be a smart thing to do, right? Pull this down. This down. You're going to want to see a break through this price level right here. Oops. There we go. Right up through here. At 0.0375. That would get you through the 618702. You know, then I'd be looking for this 4.5 cent target up here. Alright, but things are looking pretty decent. I mean, as far as the higher time frames go, with the RSI, look at the 12-hour. Right down at the very bottom. Daily looks great. Down at the very bottom. Weekly looks pretty good. And the monthly looks incredible at a 2 and a 1. All right, so if we're going to get a run, this would be a pretty good time for it, right? For sure. Like I said, Bitcoin over here, Bitcoin's doing good. We're in that long on Bitcoin. I mean, like I said, Bitcoin starts running. Like, you could get a pretty good run out of this, right? That daily, then you go to the weekly RSI. Weekly still bullish, 36 and 35. Look at it down here, it's at a 34. Then you go to the monthly. Look at that monthly, 0 point just turning bullish, and tomorrow's the 1st, right? So tomorrow's the 1st. That thing could be ticking back to the upside, and we could get a pretty serious run here. You know, I don't know for sure if it's going to head towards, you know, that 100, but then, you know, the first target, if it gets up through here, right? First, a break is 75. And then you might as well just go from this high here down, you know, 83 to 86. That'd be your 618702 off of here. You know, and then we break through there and then move it up to the higher level. All right, but a break of 75, I think we're heading to 83 to 86,000. Okay, so keep an eye on this stuff. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you members. Thank you so much for being over there. You guys keep me going, and I appreciate it, and I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, everybody.